Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Let me officially welcome each and every last one of you all to our BYOB, Be Your Own Bank Profit Call. This is a live market analysis. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, guys, as you log in this morning, go ahead and drop it in the chat where you're calling in from, along with those affirmations. We want to drop it in the chat where we're calling in from, along with those affirmations. And now, yes, we are still talking about 2 million strong, 2 million, 2 million. So I want to make sure that each and every last one of you all go like our BYOB Movement Facebook page. We're streaming now. And I want to make sure you like and share. Now, I want to also be just a tad bit clear because some of you guys are trying to share, you are sharing, but then we also have what we call a Facebook page. That is the BYOB Cash Out, where we have, a few thousand people in there as well. And we're streaming in there. Now, you cannot share out of the group. So I do want to be clear because this is a private group. It's visible to find, but people who are not in the group cannot see the contents of the group. So just want to give you a little Facebook etiquette this morning, a little understanding, because I love the fact that you guys are out, you're wanting to share, you're wanting the 2 million strong, you want to make sure. However, we cannot share from the group. Of course, on your page, you see it because if you can share from the group, that means you're a part of the group. So the only people who will see it is people who can already see it that are in the group where it's streaming. So you want to go to the Facebook page, right? The Facebook page. I'm bringing this up on this call because I get many notifications that you all are sharing from the group. And I just want to let you know that nobody can see it, that you want to see it. So go to our Facebook page, BYOB Movement Worldwide, like the page, share from there, okay? Go like the page and go share from there, all right, guys? Just want to make sure you know what's going on. Also, let me say happy holidays, right? We had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. I know I did. I know many of you all did as well. I also know that yesterday, as we closed out our radio broadcast for the year, we had a wonderful, wonderful time on our radio broadcast. Let me get a 555 in the chat if you were able to see that. Let me get a 555 in the chat if you were able to see that radio broadcast. It was phenomenal. Now, did it encourage you guys? Did it encourage you? Was it encouraging, right? That you see individuals, some of your educators, that are compounding, people whose heartbeat. Wasn't it encouraging to know? You hear my story all the time. I couldn't count pips, but, you hear it all the time. But I don't know what it is about being able to relate that to, I don't know if you guys don't believe me. I don't know. It is, but everybody has a journey and everybody has a story. And to be able to hear from them, to where you guys got to hear their journey, hear their story, and understand that everybody begins this journey the same way. Everybody begins this journey understanding, regardless of how your journey went. We all begin this journey with having never heard about this before. We all begin this journey. Think about it, right? This wasn't around when we were little. So not one person on this call grew up saying, I want to be a trader. Not one person on this call grew up saying, when we were looking at what we wanted to do with our lives and we were looking at what we wanted to manifest in our lives, right? Not one person on this call grew up and said, I want to be a trader, because it wasn't optional for us. It wasn't available for us. Trading, from what I can recall from my research and what I looked at, from our capabilities didn't even start until the 90s, right? And so many of us were already here. I know I graduated in 93. So if it started in the 90s, I was already considered an adult by the time that this manifested, by the time that it came about. So this was not available for us. So nobody grew up saying, oh, guess what? I'm going to be a trader. Now, our children and our children's children are going to grow up and say, hey, I want to trade, right? I want to do that thing. I want to, but now you guys had an opportunity to hear from people whose stories are just like ours, whose stories are just like yours, who looked at this for the first time and was like, whoa, what is that? What is going on? But now have turned this into a generational blessing, So I'm still on a high from that radio broadcast, right? And if you missed it, go listen to it, right? If you missed it, I see I got it. I'm ecstatic in here. You see, I have, that's oh yes. I like the oh yes. I got the yes with the exclamation point. So understand that. So also, let me go ahead and let you guys know. That this is December. Why did I bring up holidays? Why did I bring that up? Because we're gonna do calls, but we're not going to have a 9 o'clock call. So that starts today. So we are going to do the 5 a.m. call. We're going to do the evening calls, the 9 p.m. calls, but we're not doing a 9 a.m. call. Okay. So do you hear me? Mark your calendars, update it. I love you. When you log in, don't send me a message saying, hey, where's the 9 o'clock call? 9 o'clock, we'll see you guys in January. Okay, 9 o'clock, we'll see you guys in January. So I'm gonna put Miss Reed on the spot. I know I haven't talked to her. I meant to reach out yesterday. So Miss Reed, if you could just let me know if you can pray us out on this call, because we still want to make sure that we're operating in those blessings. We want to make sure that we're covered. We want to make sure that our prayer warrior, I see the mic, go ahead.
Absolutely. You can count on me.
Thank you. I want to make sure that you guys are still being covered by our prayer warrior. That is our BYOB prayer warrior. I'm telling you, she praying on the calls, off the calls, in the morning, in the evening. That's how she live her life. And she praying us out every single day. So I'm so grateful for that. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get started here this morning. Let's see who we have on the line. All right, let's start. I see New York. I see Jacksonville. Good morning. Good morning, Milwaukee. Good morning. Good morning, Cleveland. Good morning, Toledo. Good morning, Columbus. And if you're just logging in, make sure you drop it in the chat where you're calling in from and those affirmations. Good morning, Essex, UK. Good morning, Chattanooga. Good morning, Manchester, UK. Good morning, Leland, Mississippi. Good morning, Fort Polk. Good morning. Good morning, Cleveland, Ohio. Good morning, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Good morning, Minnesota. Jacksonville. Good morning. Greenville, South Carolina. Yes, good morning, Cleveland, Tennessee. Let me be specific. There's a Cleveland, Ohio, and a Cleveland, Tennessee. Good morning. Good morning, Cleveland. See, when y'all just say Cleveland, I know what y'all talking about. Good morning, Milwaukee. Come on, Milwaukee this morning. Fort Mill, South Carolina. Good morning. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get my screen shared together. And as I do that, I want you all to say it to yourself. I'm doing a little change. You always drop it in, but stay muted and say it with me, okay? We're going to put some energy behind this. Good morning, Texas. We're going to put some energy behind this. I am an educated BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in and profit. I am 777. So good morning, Milwaukee. So let's do it one more time. And I want you to speak it wherever you are. All right. I know you copied and pasted. Most of you guys do. So we're shifting that energy. There's an energy. Write it, speak it, believe it. Okay. Write it, speak it, believe it. So we're going to put some energy in that. I am an educated BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in and profit. I am 777. You know what? I love you. And I love that. You say, nope, I type it every time. So that is very refreshing and that's good to hear. Good morning, Virginia. So as I get my screen shared together, if this is your first time here with us this morning, let me get a 111 in the chat. Let me get a 111. If you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222 in the chat, right? A 222. If you are cashing out, let me get a 777. Guess what? You could be a 222 and a 777. And let me get an 888 in the chat if you are compounding. Wait, hold on. We said, what? You started typing it too? Okay, I love it. I'm telling you guys, there's a different energy. Just go back to when we had to write lines in school. I'm telling you, when you had to write those lines out, I will not, I will not cheat. I will not copy their paper. I will not talk back. I will not punch him in the face, right? All of the lines that you had to write out, right? You had to write it out for a reason because they wanted that to get into you subconsciously. It was not to make your hand hurt. Okay. The point is not to make your fingers hurt. The point is to make sure you're making an impression into your subconscious mindset. So, yes, type it out, speak it. I know some of you all copy and paste it, exactly. It was a different energy. Exactly. Come on. See, I need to let you do this call. So it is a different energy, even though you're reading it every time. It's a different energy. And we want that. And we want that in our subconscious mindset. Look at this. I'm so excited. It's more of you guys than I thought. Because I always get I copied and pasted. I always write my affirmations out. It does make a difference. It is more of you all than I thought. I always type it too. It is more of you all. So I love it. 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 Watch it make a difference in your trade account. Watch it make a difference in your boldness and your confidence. Watch it make a difference in your conversation. All right. So now it's okay. Look. Look, I'm having a proud moment this morning. A proud BYOB moment. You guys are making me proud. Y'all showing out this morning. All right. So now look, and then here come the educator. Oh, me too. I love it. So now, guys, let's come through here. Let's come through here and let's see what's going on. Okay. Let's come in here and let's see what's happening today. So what do we know? Today it should be a very profitable day, right? You know what? You said Miss Anderson made me write it out. It made me write out $1 million till I was, you know what? Look, come on. You look, a questionmony. I asked the question, y'all giving testimonies. This is what a questionmony is, a questionmony. So I think we adopted that word. On accident. All right. So look, it's official now, but it was on accident, but it's official. A questionmony. So as we're looking here, all right, let's talk about what's going on. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the importance, and then we'll do some analyzation. Okay. Now, why am I doing that? Let me welcome everybody to the call that's here for the first time. Okay. Y'all got me excited writing out these affirmations and I forgot to welcome people. So let me welcome. All right. Now, understand that what we do is we have a call schedule that's here for your success. So we educate and implement. And in the evenings, we educate. In the mornings, we implement. So what we've been doing, right? What we've been doing is we've been slowing these calls down just a tad bit to where we really can emphasize, right? I appreciate all the comments about the recognition, understanding that when the market shifted, I shifted the training, the analyzation, the understanding. And you know what? What I see from that is so many of you all are not only cashing out, but you guys were comfortable enough and bold enough to begin compounding because you have another level of understanding to the market. And then if you were on a call with the finance doctor last night, Dr. Bythewood had a conversation with a gentleman, if I recall his, as he explained it correctly, about, someone wanting to know how many trades we take on the call and what we do now, and wondered if we were doing the right thing. If we were doing the calls at the right time, what were we doing? Now, see, that's the reality. And that's where most people live. And that's how most people think. And that's unfortunate. And I say that because it's unfortunate because we have to have a mental shift, right? That's why we do affirmations at the top of this call. We have to have a mental shift. We have to stop operating in a blind trust and a drive to be mediocre. And what I mean by that is, and we're getting to it because all this is related and how we're going to do this call this morning. But what I mean by driving to be mediocre is, as a financial advisor, I found too many people that tell me, I just want you to touch I just want you to do it. I just want you to do it. I don't even want to look at it, right? but yet what changes is nothing. You know, when we look down the road and we see individuals, like we're approaching the holiday season, how many of our seniors, right, our parents, grandparents, right, it might not be your personal, but they're that age. So I need you to think about it like that. How many of your parents and grandparents are actually going to be the ones out there delivering holiday packages? I was told that they have older people working at Amazon lifting boxes and doing packages. You know, that's disheartening, right? That's disheartening because when I'm 70 years old, me lifting boxes, 50-pound boxes, and, you know, consistently in that type of chain is not what I want to do when I get older, right? That's just not my 70-year-old dream, you know? So what I want for all of us to understand is how important it is for us to take control and make that shift. Okay, so look, you were mad about it when you worked there because you saw it. So there it is, somebody else saw it. And so, but that's the mindset that we have. Even since I've been doing this, I can't tell you how many people that say, you know what, I just want to, just let me give you my money. No, ma'am, no, sir. Even if you are investing, this skill set is going to help you with that. Whether you're looking at long-term investments, you're looking to do 6 figures in 6 months, no matter what it is, this skill set is going to help you. So that mindset shift that we have to have, right? Living to be excellent instead of living to be mediocre is where we have to shift, because that's honestly what it is. We get to a point and we don't want to advance anymore, or we think we can't, or we think, so you're putting your own personal limitations in your life. And so, no, you know, you saw it every day at work. Oh, they can hardly walk, but working at 80. Exactly. So we are that shift and that change. And so when the market moves, we move, right? When life happens, we adjust. And COVID happened, so we adjusted. And so now this is where we are. So that's why I want to talk to you about what's going on. Because what happened in the market yesterday is what can happen and what can take you out of the market and frustrates people when you're not educated. So our focus is the education. If we get to take a trade, fantastic, hallelujah, amen. We're going to take the trade. But what you are going to know is exactly how to take the trade, right? And that's why we set this schedule up the way that we do. That's why you have a basics call. That's why you have an advanced call. That's why you know, this is market talks, BYOB market talks. But if you look on the streams, it also says live market analysis. So we're going to analyze what it is we're doing so you understand. And so what we've done over the last month is really kind of slow this down a little bit. Because you guys know I give you like 20 pairs and we go through it and everything else. But what we've done is we've slowed this down just a little bit so we can actually help you analyze, help you understand how to grab the tools, help you understand how you get in here and do it. So you're empowered when you walk away. So that's what we're doing. Now, I'm going to talk to you about what happened and what transpired yesterday after the call, right? Which is why we wait on news. And that's important because we have news. I was about to say in between the calls, but this is the only call today, right? So when we look at it, I want you guys to be able to effectively go trade and understand why your patience is important. We did take profit on the call, but then we also knew we needed to wait. And then, you know, on the 9 o'clock call, but then we knew we needed to wait, right? We knew for a fact that we needed to wait because in our waiting, it allowed us, right? GBP USD, for example, moved 150 pips, right? After all of that happened, it just moved, right? And so understanding, right, that's what happened, understanding that it moved, understanding what transpired, you know, this is where your education comes in. And so you're going to see movements like this because what do we talk about? COVID, right? This new COVID strain. Is he here? Did he leave? Where's he at? What's he doing? You know, did he travel? Has he left Africa? What's going on, right? So, you know, that brings that factor back into the market. So it was real funny, kind of like ironic funny to me that they were talking about the pandemic yesterday on the onset, and then here we are having the same conversation, right, again. And but this time you get to see how the significance, because even in the midst of that, we have educators and we have individuals that are compounding. Because did you hear it yesterday where she said, I'm not the only one? There are other individuals in the church that are compounding with me. I'm not the only one. Did you hear Miss Anderson say, that was Miss Perry? Did you hear Miss Anderson say, I got some screenshots of some people compounding, right? I got some screenshots of people telling me how they compounded their account each day, right? So I'm telling you now, get the consistency in your account, grab that consistency, and then begin the compounding. And this is what we're here to assist you and facilitate you doing. All right, y'all with me? Y'all with me? Y'all with me? All right. So let's look. Let's see what's going on. So today, this begins to feed into non-farm payroll, which is Friday, all right? This is where this begins to feed, okay? And as you can see, you know that GBP has news today. I love it, I love it. At 8:15, now most of the time, the news comes at 8:30, okay? For whatever reason, this typically comes about 8:15. So I know where minds are conditioned to look for our news, see, because the US market opens at 8 o'clock. Then at 9:30 is when Wall Street opens. So that's why we typically do that 9 o'clock call. But right, 8 o'clock, 8:15, ADP non-farm change, okay? So that's what's happening. And then, of course, 10 o'clock, he is talking again, guys. He has something to say again. So it's kind of good we're not having that call today because you'll see what happened yesterday. Like, what are you talking about? So they were talking about COVID. They were talking about cryptocurrency. They were talking about, COVID, crypto, and inflation was the main topic of conversation. I don't know, am I the only one that watched it? So that's part of what was happening yesterday. All right, so that's what was going on. So now you can see that, right? So we also know non-farm payroll, COVID, and we see what's happening in the market today. And then, of course, on Friday, like I said, is the non-farm payroll. So you can see, right, they testifying again. Hey, it is what it is, and we understand what's going on, okay? So you have not only the testimony, but you have that ADP employment change. Now let's jump over here to the market, okay? Now, wait, before we do that, I want you guys to see, right? I want you to understand what's happening right now. So GBP USD trigger for a sell, trigger for a buy, right? So you're going to see that went from a buy. Now this is the bounce back. It went from a buy to a sell to a buy. The other one we've been following, AUD USD, it went from a buy. It went away. Nah, where is it at? Where is it at? This one is a buy. It went away. It's fluctuating too. Sometimes they go away, right? Sometimes our alerts go away if they don't play out. Bitcoin, how long ago was Bitcoin? We were looking at Bitcoin too. All right. Bitcoin, where's my Bitcoin? Bitcoin, now that was the old one. So, that's the one we looked at the other day. So just to kind of show you that, this is what's happening, right? That fluctuation is there. So basically what I'm talking about. So let me bring you over here, okay? And why I tell you guys, because this could have taken you out. Like it could have been very good or it could have been very bad. Where is my spike? Where's my spike? All right, here's my spike right here. Did you guys see it happen yesterday? This right here? Right, that's my spike. All right, that's my spike. Okay, this is my spike. So now it could have been very profitable or it could have been very right. So this is what happens, okay? This is what happens. Look at how the market moved. Now it wasn't like, oh, let me just spike, but this thing started moving, right? So it started moving. It was good, right? But it started moving. And so that's AUD. Actually, I wanted this GBP was harder. This is the one I was looking for. This is the one. AUD USD moved too. GBP USD moved just a tad bit harder. So this is that spike, right? This is that reference point. So if you notice, it had been buying, right? It had been buying, right? It had been buying. It had been buying a little bit. Now, this is where it was, but we have to allow because that thing just turned and started moving. Now, let me show you guys something. And trust me, I'm going to walk you through the strategy. I'm going to walk you through. I promise I'm going to walk you through. But I just want to make a point because how many of you all were on the call last night, right? Let's just show of hands. Give me a 555. Were you on the call last night on our basics call? How many of you all were on the basics call last night? Okay. You were on the basics call. Well, I know you were on the call. You did the call. I mean, I'm just being funny right now. But who all was on the call, right? Awesome. So I'm telling you guys, you want to watch those, right? So you want to be there. Now, what I'm showing you here is the basics call gives you that basics, right? It gives you that basics. Then what we come in and do is we build on top of it. So the basics call is meant to teach you the strategy. Miss Anderson hangs around the 5 to 15 in an hour when she's teaching you. She doesn't pull up anything else. She's not marking it up. She's not doing support and resistance lines. She's not doing zones. She's not doing any of that. And that's intentional, right? She knows how to do it. I mean, she does, right? I mean, but she does not do it on that call, very intentional, because what we found is that you know, understanding the strategy in its simplistic form and building on the foundation is very important. Okay, so that's what that's all about. Now, when we come here and we begin looking, okay, now what I'm going to do, and as we evolve, you'll see other educators and you hear their voices. What they're going to do is they'll be marking charts up, right? And they'll be marking it up because, and we'll be marking it up. And I've seen it, you know, I've seen Miss Perry in action. Y'all heard her yesterday, you know, phenomenal. You guys have opportunity in this area to meet with them on Sunday. I'm telling you, that's where you want to be. But I'm saying it because she walks you through that basics as well. But it's also helping you understand, you know, a little bit deeper of the market, right? A little bit deeper. And you want to understand a little bit deeper. And so you always see me come on here and you're marking this up, right? You always see me come on here and you see it. And if you would have had this, then you wouldn't have, if as you begin and get to that third level, you see, you would have never gotten taken out here if you were trying to buy. You would have known where to put your take profit, whether you had reached 10 pips or not. You know, whether you would have understood exactly where to stop. And so, but we want you to learn this in phases, right? We want you to learn it because as you guys see, and as I've heard, and as you say, it could be overwhelming because you've never done it. But just remember, everything you've done at one point in life has always been for the first time. So let me really get in here. I want to help you because now I'm gonna walk you through the strategy. We're gonna see what happens, right? But at the same time, you know, I want to make sure that you guys understand, and that's why, because of what happened yesterday. And I don't want you guys to get caught up in that, because even when we look at Ethereum, y'all, my computer restarts, so I don't have all my markups. But even when we look, right, has this moved up? Absolutely. Like we were looking at Ethereum, right? But even when all of that happened, this drop down could have taken somebody out if you would not have waited and understood, right, that you needed to wait based on support and resistance, based on zones, because of that rejection, right? Those rejections that take place, right? These rejections. But when you look at it, it's kind of following that market structure. So I'm just trying to paint the big picture of why you start with the basics and then you begin evolving, but why you can't just stay at the basics, okay? You have to evolve a little bit, all right? And I want to be very clear about that. So let's talk BYOB cash out strategy, and let's see what's happening in the market, all right, y'all? Let's see. Now, here we are, okay? This is what we're looking for. Okay, so I actually see 3 trade opportunities possibly right here, just looking at this zone. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna analyze that, okay? We're gonna analyze this. So what we're looking for is 3 indicators. I have candles, dots, right? We have candles, dots, and lines, okay? Lines, candles, dots. So what we're looking for is we wanna make those lines, candles, and dots make sense. So here's my stochastic, right? My lines. When I'm looking at my lines, I need for them to be very specific, okay? Right? So, and I love what she said about your must-haves, like what must you have? You must have the blue line crossing over the red in an upward momentum, okay? I must have that. Around the 80, I'm looking for my blue line cross over the red in a downward momentum. So notice here we have it crossing up, right? We don't have, I actually have a trigger of 30 minutes ago for a buy. So we'll look at that. So we have it crossing up, we have it crossing up, we have it crossing down, okay? So you can see that momentum that's been taking place. Now to ride this momentum wave with this one in that upward momentum, I'm looking for that green candle, flat bottom, PSR, the dot at the bottom, right? My candle, flat bottom, dot at the bottom. So there we have that, okay? Let me change the color, all right? So you guys can see it. All right, so this is what we have, right there. Now, that's that alignment, okay? Now remember, bottom, 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 right? I need my line coming up from the bottom. I need a candle flat at the bottom. I need my dot at the bottom, 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 okay? Now, over here, the same thing, right? Bottom, bottom, bottom. So we have that bottom, bottom, bottom. Now here, what do I need? Top, 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 okay? So when I come here, right, blue line cross over the red and downward momentum, red candle flat top, PSAR flip to the top, right? So we have our top, top, top. So we have all of that, right? So that's what we're doing. Now let's look at our confluence, okay? Now remember, why am I showing you all of these? Do you remember the bounce back? Just showing you buy, sell, buy, right? Didn't it just show you buy, sell, buy? Didn't we just see that? So this is that analogy right there. So that's what the bounce back just showed us. It showed us a buy, it showed us a sell, it showed us a buy, right? On the 15-minute. Now let's go to my hour. Let's see, do we have confluence, okay? Confluence means alignment, all right? It simply means alignment. Now, as I look at this, okay, I have my blue line cross over the red. I have that upward momentum. I even have a green candle, okay? So I actually have alignment. Here, now that stochastic has a nice little sharp curve to it, okay? It does. Now, I cannot promise you that when this hour took place, at what point in this hour, because this stochastic, we saw it happen yesterday, where this curve might have happened as this pulls down, right? This might have still been in an upward momentum. So I'm gonna tell you now, if it wasn't, then we didn't take the trade or we had to wait. So if it was, then this is one I would have confirmed by dropping down. All right. So had my stochastic been curving down, now the way the sharpness is on it, I don't believe that it was. We saw it yesterday. You guys saw it with me yesterday, right? How it just curved real quick based on the fundamentals in the market. So, but I'm going to show you, hypothetically speaking, had it been, let's drop down to the 30 because, right? And then, of course, what you're seeing is that actually pulling down. But I'm still going to go with, I don't believe that it was. I don't believe that it was. So that's a trade we would have had to wait for, right? So that was 15. Yeah, you would have had to wait. And then by the time it got here, would you really have taken a trade? Let's just be honest, because this is where it would have happened. Would you really have taken a trade, right? So let me just put this right here. Let me do it this way. Any questionmonies as we're walking through this, guys? Any questionmonies, right? So now you can see where it's pulling down. I know the new people like a questionmony if you logged on late. Questions, comments, testimonies. That's a questionmony. So are you where you're down? And now, so that's where you would have seen that. All right. So that's where you would have taken that trade if it was in alignment and you would have got your pills. But you see, you had to wait. Now let's go down to my 5-minute. Right? My 5-minute, I'm still selling, I'm still buying, I'm still buying. And that's ultimately what you're looking for. Now, GBP USD trigger for a buy. Let's look at that. Okay. Any questions, comments, testimonies? Because I'm still moving. Y'all not saying nothing. So I'm going to keep going. All right. So let's put this in here. 133165. All right. So this is what we are. So on the 5-minute, it triggered for a buy, right? 5-minute, it triggered for a buy. So what you're going to see is it's always called in a correction. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like it. I don't like it. My stochastic is straight down, okay? So we see that it was called in a correction. Every time you look, every time you see a trigger from here, every single time, if it's in a buy, I should assume, I should have a realistic expectation that the chart is going to appear that it's in a sale. If it triggers for a sale, I have to have a realistic expectation that when I look at this, I'm going to be looking and I'll see it triggering in a buy. So it's always going to be vice versa of what you see here. But what vice versa means is a correction, right? A correction, okay? So when I come here to my 30, that shows me that it is a very valid trigger, right? We triggered on my 5-minute for a buy. My 30-minute is in a buy. We just got this new 30-minute candle. So it would have been this one right here. And it's showing you that it's in a buy, right? That's what we're seeing, right? Yeah, right? So now I'm going to come up here. I'm going to do a little top-down analysis approach, right? A little top-down analysis approach. Now, when I'm here, let's look at this, right? You guys tell me, would you be trying to take a buy? So look at this. My candle is in a buy, right? I'm human. That's the first thing I look at too. It's not the first thing we need to analyze from. but it's the first thing we always tend to look at. And what happens is you guys will glance over here and you be like, oh, it's buying, bam, take the trade. No. Tell me why we're not. Somebody tell me why we're not. Somebody tell me why we're not taking a trade right now. I want to see what we know. Mastery check, mastery check. Right, that's stochastic. That's stochastic. That's stochastic. Right? I need my stochastic to go with me. We need to, that stochastic has too much power. All right. Now, when I come here and I look at my 4 hour, so now you see that my 4 hour isn't a buy. So my 4 hour is buying, my hour is selling. The market needs to get back in alignment, okay? The market, exactly, the stochastic was pointing down. Yep, I got it coming in from both places. So the market needs to get back in alignment. So now you'll understand why you're getting triggers for buy, sell, buy, why we'll get this buy, we'll turn around and get a sale possibly, because, you know, the market is waiting, right? The market is in that phase. So we knew we were in this zone. Let's look at big picture. You guys know I like to show you the big picture. So I'm gonna squinch the chart up just a little bit. We're gonna squinch it up. So what we do know, then we have a hard time getting through here last time, right? Look at all of this. So we're in that same space, right? We're in that same space. If it was construction, how long does construction last? Forever. Does construction ever go away? No. Are they still working on the same road from when you was 5? Yes, right? So they still doing the same construction. It's the same construction point. So, you know, right here, you know, that's what's happening. So it doesn't matter how long ago it was. If it was a construction zone, they still working on the construction. So that's what happened in the market. So we're in that same area where we had a hard time getting through. And so we're in the same area where we're doing the same thing, okay? Now, anything over 6 months is significant. I'm just going and so this is a whole year, right? It's been a whole year since we've been here, okay? An entire year. And so a year ago, what pushed this through, right? A year ago, what pushed it through this zone? So you're looking at August, what's going, you know, where it attempted a year ago, paired with the US dollar, what pushed this through? When was our elections? When was our elections? Look at the date on this. When was our elections? Then Dr. B just remind you yesterday that we had Brexit, we had elections, we had all of that going on, right? So when was our elections? Around this time, look at the dates, right? So it was around this time frame last year. So, and this is when the elections was, you look at the impact, it's going to take something significant to kind of break through there fundamentally. All right. And now when I come over here, what's happening right now? What's happening right now? COVID, right? So that's where you are. So if it had a hard time before, it'll have a hard time again. Just like, you know, I'm not trying to really get too deep, you know, it's not the training call. But if you go back and you look at these dates and you look at when the things, you know, are happening, when it broke through, you can kind of see, if you come up on a daily, if you end up on a monthly, you can kind of see when things begin to happen, because significant, sometimes some zones, it takes significant events. You know, on a training call, when we broke through this, it was when Brexit, when they made a decision that they were going to get a divorce. And then after that, you know, they made a decision that they were going to get a divorce. And then all of the actions and things that came through it is when, you know, that it actually was finally able to break through a zone. So some of those zones, it's important. That's why I'm telling you, you're going to have to evolve past the blue line, cross over the red, just that. You're going to have to go into market structure a little bit, okay? So you don't skip what's being taught. Lay your foundation, understand it, please. If you don't understand it, you know, show up for what I'm telling you. You know, if you're still in that phase with that 222 very beginning phase, show up for what I'm sharing with you. But then I need you to not only show up, but I need you to I need you to show up, but then I need you to make sure you master that, because you subconsciously, you want what I'm teaching you in your mind, right? Subconsciously, you want what I'm teaching you in your mind. So don't feel like I don't need to go. No. All this together is going to help you. That's what we do. All right. Now let's look at this, okay? Because it's a currency pair we've been following, okay? And I'm gonna come to my 4 hour because I want you to understand just how significant what happened is yesterday, how significant, right? So here we are, right? We started here with this currency pair. We made a lot of money on here, and I'm saying we because I'm not the only one. So we made quite a bit of money with this currency pair over the last, when did we start with this one? Oh, really like the last month. Today is December the 1st. So all of this happened in a month. All of this movement happened in a month. Now, what we do know is that we got to a point where here we are in this zone, right? We're at a very significant support and resistance. Now, I can also put this here, right? I can put this line here to really just kind of show you where we had peaked out before. And that's where we were being held. So now I didn't dive back into the strategy yet. I'm trying to help you see what's being triggered and why it's triggered. So hold on. All righty. So you guys see that, right? So when we look left, that look left is important. I remember when my son used to say, "Ma, just look over to the left." And I'm like, I know what, we get in an argument because he'd be like, "It's to the left." I'm like, "Boy, I know what my left is. Don't play with me. I know what left is, but what's at the left, right?" So, because he couldn't explain to me what he was seeing or why he was seeing it, he just saw it. And so you want to begin to train your eyes. So now I know what the left is. You look at the left and those points are very significant. What the market did in the past historically is very important. And so you notice that as we began that turnaround point, as we began to hang out in that zone, we were staying in this zone, right? You see what we marked up to the left? You see how we were hanging in this zone. But the fundamental impact of what happened yesterday, you see how it disrespected the zone? And the reason I'm pointing out AUD USD is because this is probably one of the smoothest currencies out there, okay? This is probably one of the smoothest currencies, it's very good. It triggers very well, you get, right, you see you coming here, right? It's real smooth. It's just, you'll get triggers, you'll get alerts, it'll be here on the bounce back, on the vibrato, the harmonic scanner. It's just a very good currency pair. It just behaves well, right? Look at it. Just look at it. It just behaves well. Look how smooth it is, right? Look how nice, look how pretty the wave pattern is. It just, as it starts dying out, as it starts losing momentum. I mean, look how deep the waves are, right? Nice, beautiful waves. Then it starts dying out. You look at how it's dying out, it's losing momentum, and it's still selling until it gets to a certain point. It's just a well-behaved currency, all right? It is. It's just a well-behaved currency. But yet, look what the fundamentals can do. So when I tell you, do not get in the trade. When I tell you, do not take the trade. When I tell you, do not get in the trade before the news, okay? Before the speeches. This was a speech. This is what happens. This right here, all right? So you want to make sure you're waiting. Now, look at the market. I mean, let's look. Look at our movement, right? Let's see. Do we have movement? Look at this. Y'all put your eyes right here. Why am I educating this morning? Why am I taking my time? Look at that pipette. This the pipette. This the pip. This the pipette. Where is the movement? Where's the movement? Where's the movement? Look at how slow this thing is going. So if we were surfing, would you be standing on your surfboard right now? Or would you just be sitting on the surfboard looking to say, look, like, where you at? Where you at? Where my waves at, right? What would you be doing? Which one? Would you be sitting? So that's why we're educating. That's why we're talking this morning. Look at that. It's still not going 9. The pipette go to 2. It comes back to 9. Like, what are we doing? Nothing. So if the market's not moving, we don't move. We just sit and wait. We talk. Hey, go have a cup of coffee, right? Enjoy it. Go watch the video. Both of them said, I watched the video. I watched the video. I watched the video. That 6-minute video. I watched the video. I watched the video. I watched the video. Did you, like, over and over and over and over and over again? And so the way those videos and that playlist is, the first one is the strategy. The second one is time frame confluence. That's it. The first one is a strategy. The second one is time frame confluence. So a 6-minute video. Who has 6 minutes? Who has 5 minutes, right? Who has that much time? Right? We got time. What is time? So now let's look real quick. We got a few minutes left. So same thing, right? We kind of wash this week out. Obviously, you have great potential and opportunity that'll be here. Great potential and opportunity. What am I looking for? Here we go. Great potential and opportunity that'll be here, but I want you to pay attention to where we are on this zone on my indices. All right. So you see US 30 trigger for a buy 30 minutes ago, still not moving. Look at this, right? And these are points in front of the decimal. Look how, so that's not movement for this. Okay. I would want to keep it real. All right. So you can see where we are. So it's a valid trigger, right? Valid, but we want to wait, right? We want to wait. You want to allow the movement to get back into the market, right? Now, Ethereum, same thing. We talked about it closing this out. Ethereum actually came all the way. So I told you this yesterday and the day before. I told you what Ethereum was going to do, right? I told you what Ethereum was going to do. And ta-da, 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 ta-da. Did we take it? Did we cash out? I know I got a UK, I got a president that I think this is one of their favorite currencies because that's all I see. This and like an index. Yep. Where you at, Hardy? I know I see you. 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 All right. So let me see here. I always see all y'all on this call. Let me see. Any questions? Anything y'all want to see before we close out? Right. Look at, you see this raggedness, the raggedness of this, right? So you can see how we've been fluctuating in that zone. So Bitcoin, it came, it broke, and it hasn't surpassed that level yet. I was trying to see Ethereum triggered again for a buy. Ethereum has been doing very well, guys. Like seriously, Bitcoin is the leading one, kind of like US 30 and the S&P, but sometimes the US 30, right? It don't want to act right. And the markup will look the same, right? The markup will look the same, but then the S&P starts moving before the US 30, and right, you get that smoothness in it while US 30 is in its feelings or whatever. That's what I'm gonna call it, in its feelings. So when you know that, this does the same thing, right? So, that's that bigger kid, right? That's that big sister, big brother, right? Just like, well, what are you doing? So let's put this at 60,000. What's blue mean? What's blue mean? What's the blue line mean? What my traders at? What's my blue line mean? What's my blue line mean? Okay, I'm like, it has not been that long since we talked about a psych level. All right, it means my psychological level, right? The more zeros, the stronger it is. So obviously this would be 1, 2, that's 62, 64, 66, right? All of these are psych levels, but at the same time, this one has more zeros. So this is going to be a major point, right? So even if we come out of this raggedness, right? You notice that, I want you to pay attention to this. Now, Bitcoin spreads are wider. The spreads are wider than our Forex. So even if we're looking, you can kind of put around the zone. You see how we're like 59 to 61 because the spreads are so great, but always around a psych level, you have a zone. And you notice how it came and it tapped, So it got close to the psych level. So it's still in that zone. It can go past it as it did here, right? It can go past it or it can come close to it. And that's still considered getting to that psych level because the only reason why it didn't touch that number, why it didn't actually touch that number is because of the spreads that are there from the buyers and sellers and because it has so much more activity around those zones, right? So that's why. And that's where you'll typically see a lot of your consolidations. You'll typically see, just like a lot because 50 is where the other one was, right? The major one. Now you got all those minor ones in between there, but 50 is where that other major one was. And so just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, why you need to pay attention to that, let me jump up and we go over here, around here, look what happened, right? Look at the rejection, look how hard you're right. It's the same thing, the same story all the time. It's always going to be the same story. When we're at 40, look what happened, right? It's the same story. Our psych levels are important. I want to stay consistent. I want to stay consistent, help you guys understand how important this rounding is. Look what happened all around these cycle levels. The market reacts. It doesn't tell me if it's going to buy or sell, but it does tell me, hey, there's a stop sign. There's a significant area that you need to pay attention to, right? So those are the majors. Then you have your minors. So you do have your minors in there. The more zeros, obviously, the stronger it is. All right. So we can see where we are with Bitcoin. You see where you are with Ethereum. You see where you are with our US 30, right? S&P and them need to hang out. Yeah, there you go. He's like, I'm here. So I know you cashed out. So, right here. So you can see, right, that AUD USD. So you can see it, right? And you can see what the market's doing. So it got a whooping yesterday. And so right now, when you got a whooping, you had to catch your breath. It's catching its breath. And it's preparing, right? So it caught its breath. And then they coming again. So, you get that whooping. And, this is what I heard, because my mama did her own whoopings. Like, my mama, she didn't need nobody to do it. But, I kind of hear like, oh, you got to whoop it. And then at the same time, you got to wait till your daddy come home, right? So not only did you get in trouble where you were, you had to go home, you had to wait, and then you had to face the music. So so we had that yesterday. Today, you have that economic impact, right? And plus you have the 8 down. This is what the market's typically waiting on. You should see some, let me say should, because he's talking again, right? He's talking again. He's talking again, right? The economy, the monetary policy, and what they said about the inflation yesterday. And then, of course, too soon for something with the COVID strain and all this other stuff. And, and then you had the news, the courts knocked it down. Let me see, what was it? When you talk about COVID and the vaccinations, it was, I want to read it verbatim. Now, once again, I don't care how you feel, because I don't care how I feel, right? It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter how I feel, right? Where is it at? Oh my gosh, what did I do with it? All right, it says the federal court dismantles Biden's vaccine mandate, noting Biden administration cannot show any evidence it reduces transmission at all. So, so that mandate that's out there is being struck down by courts. Now, for whatever they're presenting, whatever they're showing, is they're saying that it cannot prove that it reduces the transmission. And so once again, I don't care how you feel. I just care how it impacts the market. I want to know. So do that mean I'm a buying or selling? That's all I care about. Of course, I care about, we care about what's happening. But right now, I'm trying to help you guys understand how to separate your mindset from your emotions, right? You have to be able to separate your mindset, your financial mindset, from your emotional mindset for how you personally feel about something. All right. So when you can separate that, and you want to see the market from the financial impact decisions made, not from how those decisions personally affect your opinions. All right. So I'm having this conversation because obviously that's a touchy subject. The election was touchy. Brexit was touchy. COVID, when it hit, was touchy. All of these things are touchy subjects, and people get very emotional behind it. It does not help you make money, right? Check your feelings at the door. Those emotions do not help you make money. So, right, I want to know, how does that court decision, right? How does that court decision help? Do I buy or do I sell? That's what I need to know right now. Do we buy? Do we sell? All right, questions, comments, testimonies, guys. Questions, comments, testimonies. Questions, comments, testimonies. All right, y'all have nothing. All right, so small recap. We just kind of walked through understanding the fundamental impact of how the market reacts based on what we saw yesterday. Market's not moving right now, so obviously we didn't take any trades. It's just, hey, it's hanging out. Market's not moving, right? It's doing what it do, right? So what happens after December 17th? I don't know yet. Christmas holidays, Christmas break. So I don't know. Y'all gonna get some gifts. Somebody gonna buy you something. Y'all gonna have some money. You gonna make a withdrawal from your trade account. I'm being funny. I know you're talking about the cost. Haven't decided yet. Haven't decided yet. I don't know. It just all depends on, We might be traveling, might not be traveling. So nobody knows. So, but what we want to do is empower you so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right. So just understand, what's happening, the movement, right? Thank you. Understand what you should be looking for, understanding, your opportunities and the potential that you're going to have, and how important these two sessions are today, right? This 8:15 news, and then this 10 o'clock. So if you're not trading here, I would definitely, even if you're not trading it, get in your demo account, but go listen to what they're talking about if you can. I know some of you guys will be at work, but, just kind of look at how it impacts the market so you understand why you trade after it. So I want you guys to start understanding how the fundamentals impact the market so you can cash out. It's just that simple. All right. I love you guys. Miss Reed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again so much for all that you pour into us every day. Let's pray. Hey, God, here we are again, celebrating a brand new day, a brand new month, full of questimonies, full of victory, full of wealth and clarity, a month of understanding, a month of preparation to walk in wealth and abundance. God, this is your day that you have made, and we're rejoicing. We're glad in this great day. Thank you, God, for the way that our trade whisperer is full of flexibility. Thank you for how she has the ability to adjust to situations as an example to us so that we can flow under this open heaven. God, we're thankful, we're appreciative, and we're so grateful for the birth of this economic empowerment movement on January 11th, 2018. God, we're thankful for our visionary, Mr. Rogers, our trade whisperer, Miss Dyer, our finance doctor, Dr. Bythewood, our second generation of educators, Mrs. Anderson, Miss Perry, Miss Brantley, Mr. Sims, and Pastor Washington, for our radio host, Bishop Rolliston, as well as every member of this powerful movement. Thank you, God, that we are a force to be reckoned with as we turn this world upside right. Thank you for leading us to the next million households by March 28, 2022. God, prepare their hearts and their minds to receive us, and we'll praise and thank you throughout eternity in the precious, holy, righteous name of Jesus. Amen, and thank God. And this officially ends our prophet call. Let us make sure that we're here tomorrow at 5 a.m. God bless you as we walk under the open heaven in prosperity and abundance. God bless.